So this last week, we got to take a road trip, and this is the first road trip since the Mexico mission trip of spring break that we went further than 2 or 3 hours any direction, right? And as we're going through all these small towns. I'm noticing like the Chick-fil-A is closed for remodeling, the drive-thru is still open, the McDonald's is closed, the Burger King, and I see all these remodeling projects, and it just kind of hit home for me that they have such confidence that they're going to reopen stronger and better than ever, that they're willing to invest right now in making their establishment better. I mean, it was like every city we would see this remodeling. And then we were looking at colleges. So each college campus had remodeling projects going on, buildings being resurfaced and reformatted and updated with the newest technology. Again, the colleges are believing that this too shall pass, and the students that are now doing virtual learning will return to their campus, hopefully next semester. It just hit home that how much we have had the chance to remodel in the last 6 months. It doesn't feel like it because so often we are doing the day-to-day survival, and we're dependent on what is going to happen to us around us, right? Are the schools going to reopen? If they reopen, are they going to stay open? All these uncertain things keep us from moving forward. Our Bible story for this last week for the kids for Sunday school was Nehemiah. Nehemiah was a servant, a slave to the king. And he had the job of cupbearer, which sounds like super fancy, right? But what he did was his job was to take the cup of whatever the king was drinking, take a couple sips of it, wait a few minutes, and make sure that he didn't die. All right? Not the glamorous job of carrying a cup that I would want, right? But it was a coveted position because the king trusted you, and the king would listen to what you had to say because you had his ear. So it was lots of people wanted that job, and Nehemiah had it at a time when he was hearing things about his hometown and the walls of the city being torn down and the temple being torn down. Because he was in the right position next to the king could see that he was upset and said one day, "Nehemiah, why are you so upset?" And Nehemiah told him, "My temple has been torn down, my city is in ruins. It just makes me so sad." And the king said, "Why don't you go take care of that problem? I trust you to take leave. I trust you to go take care of that and then come back and serve me again." I kind of feel like we're in the Nehemiah stages here, right? Like we're poised at the right position. We don't know exactly when the church building will open back up. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with the schools. Nehemiah didn't know when he was going to go back, if he would be under attack or if this is what he was supposed to do, but he trusted God. And I kind of feel like that's where we are. We're in this unique position where we can be like McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and the colleges and trust that the future is going to be bigger and better than we can ever imagine. Or we can kind of just wait and hope. I don't know about you, but we have a God who loves us and who has never left us during this whole time of uncertainty. There's been times where we felt closer to him and further from him, but he hasn't moved. And so because of that, I think that we're just at that point where we can start looking at our families, at our lives, and thinking about how do we want to remodel? How do we want to come out of this better than ever? I encourage you, start your Bible studies. Take the first steps with your family. Sit down as a family and talk about what your priorities are going to be as you're adding things back to your calendar. Talk about that this is a unique time and that we can't wait for the next thing, that we have to just step forward in faith. As your kids see you do it, they will do it too. I hope that you have a great week.